Yes, we can, sure we can change the world.
Tina Musuya is the Executive Director of CEDUVIP, the Center for Domestic Violence Prevention. We are talking to her today as we observe 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you.
What is gender-based violence, or GBV?
Gender-based violence is an umbrella terminology that directly talks about the violence that targets women just because they are women and girls, and this is called in many times violence against women. And the reason it's called gender-based violence is because it's premised on the gender power differences between men and women. And often, this form of gender-based violence, there are so many types beneath it. It includes sexual violence, which could be like rape and defilement. Then there is domestic violence, which is so rampant as well. There are forms like female genital mutilation that's still under that umbrella terminology. There is early marriages. There is widow inheritance. It's really an umbrella terminology that talks about forms of injustices that are really done to women simply because they are women, aimed at keeping them at the control of others.
So, how big is it in Uganda?
In Uganda, it's at epidemic levels. If you look at, for example, domestic violence, the latest Uganda Demographic Health Survey puts it at 58% women are experiencing violence. Putting it in simple terms, it's like in every 10 women, 6 are experiencing violence. That's how bad that is.
The theme of this year's 16 days is keeping girls safe in school.
Mm-hmm.
How does keeping a girl in school protect her from violence and set her up for success in life?
Keeping a girl safe in school can do quite many things about keeping her safe from violence. One, if schools are safe spaces where children are protected by the adults in there, that's one way of keeping them safe from violence, from adults and even fellow students. And also, if schools could be spaces where these children can speak about even hard things, they could be spaces where they could find help in case violence happened to them. So when we keep girls safe in schools, we are doing the following things. One, we are enabling them to get education. Of course, as we all know, education is a core component of development. And that means these children will learn skills of how to speak for themselves, and they'll even get to know about their rights. And most importantly, they'll have networks beyond just family members who they can seek information from and then also report in case something bad happened to them. Often, women and girls who have not attained a higher level of education are much more vulnerable to violence than the ones who have had an education. Because the ones who have had an education are more knowledgeable about their rights and the available services, and they can boldly move to any place to seek for services. Unlike their counterparts who have not had education, definitely they'll have limited skills and have also limited reach. And then if girls can stay longer in school, that means when they complete education, it is most likely that they will have employment. And if someone is educated, they have employment, they are more in charge of their lives than just being dependents who are waiting to be manipulated in their lives. And that will also delay the onset of pregnancy and childbearing. It is really sickening to see that children of 13 years are parents. They are also children who have not even become adolescents. If we don't keep girls safe in schools and helping them to complete education, the fight on HIV, we shall never succeed.
If a girl or woman has been a victim of gender-based violence or GBV, what can she do?
Several things. There are places where they can find help. One, I start with herself. She needs to know that if she's been sexually abused, if she's been beaten, it's not her who has a problem. She has been abused, and therefore she has a right to be protected. So she shouldn't accept that situation and say, "Munanga tena akola antia." That's the first step of seeking for help. It's painful, but you don't have to shoulder the burden of you being causing the problem. And now that gives you the forum to go and report the matter, maybe to police, in the Child and Family Protection Unit to be specific. You can also go to the health center and you talk to the sister in charge, because many health centers, government has provided some services for clinical management of gender-based violence, because they recognize that if someone has been sexually abused, for example, they're at risk of HIV infection or sexually transmitted diseases and also pregnancy. So at the government health center 3s, those services are there and they are supposed to be free of charge. Please immediately go, don't wait, because the longer you wait, the more the risk of infection becomes real. So as soon as it happens, please run for help at the health centers. If it's in a given neighborhood, you can talk to the LC chairperson or the women's secretary or the secretary for youth. Often these people have useful information to refer you to an appropriate place where you can find help. Then if it's in school, the senior woman teacher, I think in the boys' schools, I don't know whether it's a senior men teacher, but someone is there to manage the welfare of children. Please go talk to those, because often they are connected to organizations that are providing services. Then also parents, let us know that these risks are there. Let us talk to our children to know what abuse is, and for them to remember that you as their parent, mother or father, you mean well for them. And they have to talk to you no matter what the problem is.
Be sure to come back for more inspiring stories from young African leaders on the Yali Voices podcast. Join the Yali Network at yali.state.gov and be part of something bigger. Our theme music is E Go Happen by Grace Jerry and produced by her friends, the Presidential Precinct. The Yali Voices podcast is brought to you by the U.S. Department of State and is part of the Young African Leaders Initiative, which is funded by the U.S. government. Thanks, everybody.